Well, hello, my superstar second graders. Today I'm going to be reading a story to you called Sequoyah, and it's a biography all about Sequoyah's life. This story is by Dorian Bennett. As I open the front cover to the title page, you'll see it's Georgia, My State Biography. So this is one of the state biographies in this series. It's called Sequoyah. On this page, you're going to see a table of contents, and this is going to show you each section and a page where it can be found of the story that we're going to read today. Notice here we have the glossary, and the glossary is found on page 22. And I know that a glossary gives me the words that are in bold in the story, and it's going to give me the definition of those words. Okay, so as we go through the story, I want you to pay attention to the words that I'm going to read and notice the words that are in bold. We're going to come back to that in just a little bit. While I'm reading the story, you're going to make note of 5 different words that are in bold and write the definition for those words. Okay, so as I get back to the story, I'm going to open up past the table of contents for the first page. And look at the first picture that I see here. Okay, the caption says, Sequoyah lived in a Cherokee village like this one. Wow, and I'm noticing several things in the picture, like the housing, and I see animals and people. And it shows me at the bottom here a timeline. And it says Sequoyah was born in 1760, or it just says born in 1760. And I know that's when Sequoyah was born. Okay, so as I get started, Sequoyah was born in Tennessee in 1760. His mother was a Cherokee Indian. His father was a white trader. His father bought and sold skins, tools, and other things the Indians needed to live. He left when Sequoyah was very young. I'm noticing 2 words on this page that are in bold, and I know that I can look those meanings up in the glossary. In fact, I'm not sure what the word trader is. So I'm going to go to the glossary really quickly and just double check. Now I'm noticing that the glossary words are in alphabetical order, so I'm going to come down to the T. And trader says a person who buys and sells things or gives things to people in exchange for things that they want. So now I understand what the meaning of trader is. On this page it says Sequoyah walked with a stick. White men took land from the Cherokees in Tennessee. Sequoyah moved to Georgia. He had a lame leg. He could not run and hunt like the other Cherokee boys. He learned to be a silversmith. He made jewelry and buckles. He also learned to blacksmith. He made horseshoes and tools. I'm noticing 3 words again here in bold, and I know that I can check those meanings in the glossary. In fact, let's look at the word lame. It's talking about his leg. Okay, I can find lame here, and it says having an injured leg or foot that makes a person limp. So that means Sequoyah had a hurt leg that made it so that he couldn't run and hunt. Okay, turning the page. Sequoyah called the pages talking leaves. Sequoyah saw pages from a book. He saw marks on the pages. The pages let the white men talk to each other. Sequoyah called them talking leaves. He wanted his own people to have talking leaves. Okay, and this page, look at this writing. It says Sequoyah tried to make marks for each Cherokee word. And this is showing me an example of some of the Cherokee alphabet. On the bottom, I'm seeing my timeline. He was born in 1760, and now in the year 1809 works on syllabary. This section is called a Cherokee alphabet. Sequoyah tried to invent or create marks for the Cherokee language. At first, he wanted to make one mark for every Cherokee word, but there were too many words. Sequoyah kept working on his Cherokee alphabet. So here he is born. I'm still at the timeline of 1809, works on syllabary. So he's working on the alphabet, and at first it said that Sequoyah tried to write letters for every word. And that would be a lot of words. Think of all the words that we have in our language. We know that we have letters for each sound. We have 26 letters in our alphabet. Some of Sequoyah's friends laughed at him. Some of his friends were afraid. They thought he was making magic that would hurt them. They tried to make him stop. Sequoyah would not stop. Sequoyah made the Cherokee alphabet. So here's his alphabet when it's finished. And we have the timeline. We have, he was born, he works on the syllabary, and then he finishes the syllabary. Sequoyah had an idea. He would use a mark for each syllable in his language. A syllable is a group of letters that make one sound. Then he could combine the marks to make words. It worked. So that's very exciting. Now he has his alphabet that is a mark for each syllable. Not each word, that was probably too many, but he's got a mark for each syllable in his language. Sequoyah's daughter, Ayoka, was his first student. This next section is called The Cherokees Learn. Sequoyah showed the chiefs his syllable alphabet. It was called the syllabary. The Cherokee people wanted to learn to read. The women and girls studied while they wove baskets. The men and boys studied while they rested from hunting. Look at the syllabary here. I know that I can find that word. It tells me here what it means. It was called the syllabary, and they're talking about the alphabet, but let's just double check to see what our glossary says in the back. Okay, when I find syllabary, it says a list of characters. They could be letters that stand for syllables. I'm going to turn the page. Wow. This says the Cherokee Phoenix was the first Cherokee newspaper, and this is showing me an example of the Cherokee Phoenix. Look at my timeline on the bottom. I'm getting new dates here. Born in 1760. Works on the syllabary. I now know that that means the alphabet. Finishes the syllabary. In 1823, Sequoyah teaches the Cherokees, and in 1828, prints first newspaper. And I know that the first newspaper is called the Cherokee Phoenix. Soon, almost all Cherokees could read and write in their own language. They started a newspaper. It was written with Sequoyah's alphabet. It was called the Cherokee Phoenix, and it was printed in Georgia. And this is a picture of trees, and I see a person standing next to these huge trees. It says the giant sequoia tree is named after Sequoyah. And I've got a new date here on my timeline where he dies in 1843. The chiefs gave Sequoyah a medal for helping the Cherokee people. A medal is given to honor a person. Sequoyah died in 1843. The giant sequoias are named after him. They are the largest and oldest trees in the United States. They help people remember Sequoyah and his Cherokee alphabet, which is pretty amazing. Okay, and then here I am back on the last page in the glossary, and you can see the words here. The first word I have is blacksmith, and it says it's a person who shapes iron by heating it and then hammering it on an iron block. Blacksmiths often make horseshoes and tools. Cherokee, a tribe of Native Americans. They live in Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama. And we've been learning about the Cherokee and Creek Native Americans that lived in Georgia. Invent, to create something for the first time. Lame, we read that one. It's having an injured leg or foot that makes a person limp. A medal. A medal is a flat piece of metal with a person's name on it. A medal is given to honor a person. Silversmith, a person who makes things from silver, like jewelry and buckles. A syllabary is a list of characters. They could be letters that stand for syllables. A syllable is the smallest amount of speech or writing. The word alphabet has 3 syllables. Alphabet. And then last, the word trader. A person who buys and sells things or gives things to people in exchange for what they want. So that's the end of the story today about Sequoyah. I hope you enjoyed it and learned some new things about Sequoyah and what he did for the Cherokee people.